Paparazzi here, talking ball cards. I want to do a quick video. It's Saturday morning. I'm about to go to the post office, so want to do a quick mailbag or mailbox, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to review two submissions. I'm doing a Collectors Club submission to PSA, and then I'm doing a my first submission to SGC. Without any further ado, we'll jump into it. First card here. I'll start with the mail bin. I've been purchasing a number of these Fleer basketball sticker cards. I like that they're the sets are so small. Thinking maybe one day I'll take a shot at the PSA registry title for these. This is just a Dominique Wilkins. I'll be fighting with the glare. Let's see, next here, I think this is a 1962 Topps Gene Lipscomb. Nice card here. Picked this up for a couple of bucks. I really like these cards. I've been buying a few of them recently. Probably will make it into a submission at some point. Jim Catfish Hunter, 1968 Topps. Been buying a lot of these, mostly off eBay. Some of these I picked up at a nearby ball card shop, so we'll cover that when we get there. Joe Morgan, nicely centered, 68 Topps. Sweet card. This I got, it was in kind of an off-brand case, not GMA, it was, or an off-brand slab I should say. It was slabbed by some no-name company. It was slabbed as a mint 9. It's definitely not mint. This is a 62 Topps early win, but it was a nice card, and I think I bought it for $2, and then shipping was $3.50. So I cracked it out of the slab. May end up in a submission at some point here. So here's my first Lou Gehrig. I know it's not a real Lou Gehrig card. I mean, I guess it is kind of. It's a 1961 Fleer, but this is obviously after he's stopped playing. But I've never had a Lou Gehrig card, so this is the first one. It's pretty sharp. I think I can submit it at some point. Hopefully get a 7 or so. Got another one of these. This one's even sharper. George Pipgrass. Another 1961 Fleer, nicely centered. These are pretty cool cards. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but there was that lot with the Lou Gehrig, so I got that. Okay, so now these are some cards I picked up at a local ball card shop, MVP Sportscards, down here in South Orange County in California. Bo Jackson, the Donruss. I believe this is the traded. I think it is. 87 Donruss. This is his rookie. Black borders make this a pretty tough set, but looks really good. Maybe like an 8, near mint to mint. Same set. Mark McGwire. I grew up watching him, so I definitely don't have this rookie card of his. I know it's not his. Well, it's not his earliest rookie card, but anyways. Here's another one I picked up. I think I grabbed this for $6. You may remember this. I have a copy of this card. This one isn't nearly as nice as the one I just recently submitted to PSA, but another Jim Catfish Hunter. Here's a Mays, Willie Mays I've never had before. I think it's 72 Topps, getting towards the end of his career. Let's see how many homers he has here. He's got 646 home runs here, so yeah, definitely tail end of his career. Here's I think these are 67. Yeah, 67 Lou Brock Topps. Really sharp. Now we're back into eBay purchases here. Lou Brock, Gaylord Perry, 68 Topps. Holding it kind of at an odd angle to try and keep the glare down. Another nice card. Okay, back to MVP Sports Card. Picked this up. I'm actually going to be submitting this in the PSA order I'm going to be talking about here. Jim Brown, second year card. Didn't have this card. It's in pretty rough shape. Probably going to get like a 2 or a 3, PSA 2 or PSA 3 on this. But just wanted to grab it. I think I picked it up for about 20 bucks. Here's a Ralph Kiner, 55 Bowman. This is another pickup from MVP Sports Cards. Nice card here, pretty well centered. If my memory serves me correctly, it is. It's pretty nice. It's off top to bottom. which is kind of hard to tell with these 55 Bowman wood grain. This card's kind of interesting. 55 Bowman, Hank Aaron. You could see this card is considerably shorter than the Ralph Kiner. Let's see if I can get them lined up. Give me a second here. Okay, I think I got that lined up now. If you look at this edge, it's about 1/8 of an inch shorter than the other card, than the Kiner. But I did some research, and it looks like Bowman had some real issues cutting cards in this year, 55, and it was not uncommon for them to cut cards 1/8 of an inch shorter, and I think it's about 1/8 of an inch shorter. I believe the edges are all factory. We'll see. This one might be miscut up here on the back, so I'm going to submit it to PSA, see what they come up with. If it is trimmed, I'm going to ask that they just slab it as authentic altered. Here's another 55 Bowman, this time with a lighter border. This is a Phil Rizzuto, but it has a crease that runs right down the middle, so this one will not be going to PSA. Picked that up for like $8. This Hank Aaron was only, I think I got it for 25 or 35 bucks. And I have a lot of those 55 Bowman, but I definitely didn't have that one. Okay, here's another one I picked up recently that's going into the Collectors Club PSA submission. Duke Snider. Definitely don't have this card. 57 tops. Pretty nicely centered. It's probably, well, the corners aren't great. The surface is good, no creases or wrinkles, but it'll probably be like a 4 or a 5 when it goes to PSA. But Duke Snider, don't have many of his cards, but it's nice. Here's an eBay pickup. 57 tops, Clemente. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know I have a lot of Clementes. This one kind of has that snow surface, or that snow image look, where, you know, I think it's a print defect that causes that look. But it's pretty sharp. Not the best centering, but it's acceptable. I think I got it for 35 or 40 bucks on eBay. The way that it was photographed for the eBay ad, or the eBay post, made it look terrible, made the centering look terrible, but in person it's much better. So Bob Clemente, this one's going into the PSA Collectors Club submission this quarter as well. Here's the K-Line. This is another eBay pickup, back to 55 Bowman. Sorry for jumping around. Really nice card. It was listed as EX Mint, so a PSA 6, but I do not think it'll get that. I think it'll get a 5, realistically. Pretty nice card. It is off top to bottom, which again is hard to discern with these 55 Bowman cards, but we'll see. Okay, all right. Let me check real quick. Yeah, all of the rest of these are eBay. Joe Morgan, 67 tops. Really sharp card. Not the best centering. Billy Williams, another 68 tops here. Phil Niekro, more 68. Pretty nice. I got a bunch of 68 and 67 tops recently. Jim Hunter in a 68. Been buying a lot of Jim Catfish Hunter. Don't know if he has a PSA registry, but maybe if after I grade some more of his cards, I'll try and compete for that. Gaylord Perry, another 68. Pretty clean. Willie McCovey, really sharp 68. Does have some chipping on the back here, on that top border you could see. With vintage cards, that's kind of to be expected, but let's see. Here's a slab card. Of course, Calvin Johnson. I'm assuming he's going to be first ballot Hall of Fame. Here's one of his star rookies. It's not autoed or anything like that, but this went for pretty cheap, only a couple of bucks. Here's some more 65 tops football. I've been picking these up lately. I like these tall boy cards. I think they're cool. The centering here is okay with these tall boy cards, and just the design. The flaws have nowhere to hide with these long cards. Been buying a few of these recently. Larry Todd. He's plays defense, but got him in a quarterback position here. These are really cool cards. I'm definitely going to try and get some of them slapped. Bob Mischek. 65 tall boy. Okay, let's go into the SGC order here. Let me get this open. So, first submission to SGC. I don't really know what to expect. I'll walk you through some of the things that I did here. So, I think this is 1950 Bowman. Yeah, 1950 Bowman Johnny Mize. Looks like it might have been cut a little small. Perhaps it's trimmed. I hope not. But here's another 1950 Bowman. I think this is another one. Early win 1950 Bowman. I think this is one that if I submitted to PSA, it would come back minimum size requirement. I think SGC is a little easier on that. And if they like the cut of the card, they will slab it. So hopefully that is the case. There's another Johnny Mize here, 1952 tops. Decently centered. Well, that border there on the bottom left is bad, but it's not miscut. On the back, it's very close to miscut. If you look down here, I don't think anything's missing, but if you look up at this top border, you could see the beginning of another card up there. So it is miscut on the back. Interested just to see how SGC grades these. Whereas with PSA, I have a pretty good idea of how they'd grade. Here's another one with centering that's not ideal. So some of these cards I'm submitting to SGC is pretty rough, but I want to get an idea of how they grade. We'll see. Here's one. I think this is 58 tops. This was in a PSA ST. This was PSA 7 ST for stain. That is because of this wax stain on the back. I'm interested to see what SGC gives it. Maybe SGC will give it a straight 6. You know, it does draw from the eye appeal on the back of the card, but we'll see how SGC sees it. Here's a 1960 tops Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. Pretty iconic card here. PSA kicked it back, said minimum size requirement. So I'm interested to see what SGC thinks. I think it's a nicer card, centered pretty well. Does have a little wrinkle up here, but let's see what SGC's take is on it. Here's another card that PSA had something to say about it. 1962 tops, Bob Clemente. Really nice card. This is a really condition-sensitive year, and this card was in a PSA slab as a 7 MK. So the qualifier was MK, which means mark. And don't know if you could see it, but there are these red dots that extend outside of the cartoon. I think this is a pretty noticeable one. And those red dots, which I thought of more to be as like a print defect, because it matches the color of some of this in here. Anyways, it was a PSA 7 MK. Interested to see what SGC thinks of it. Here we go. This is another kickback from PSA. They called it miscut. Not sure why. Tony Oliva rookie card from the 1963 top set. It's not miscut. It might be a little. It might be cut a little big from the factory, maybe from a Topps vending pack. But we'll see what SGC thinks. 68 tops. Another Clemente. This one hasn't passed through PSA, but just a nice card. I want to see how they grade this out. Don Drysdale. I think this one might be another minimum size requirement if PSA were to look at it. They have not, but nice card. 68 tops. Pete Rose. Another 68 tops, but very off center. Again, this is kind of a test submission to SGC. I like their slabs and everything. I'd like to, I'm curious to see how they grade these. 1965. Yeah, 1965. Brooks Robinson. I think this would be like an 8 if it were to go to PSA. We'll see. Don Drysdale. 67 tops. That's a nice card. Maybe a minimum size issue there as well. Joe Perry, back to football, 1957 tops, I believe. Nice card. Does have some centering issues. 1978 tops, John Stallworth. I believe this is his rookie card. Nice card. Again, this is kind of just a test to see how SGC grades. Earl Campbell rookie card. I think this is a really sharp card. Hopefully looking for like a PSA 7. The old habit. SGC 7. We'll see how that goes. Last card of this submission. Howie Long rookie card. Not super sharp. Probably looking for like EX Mint. So let's see what SGC thinks. Okay, so that's the wrap on the SGC. Here's the PSA quarterly special. One of their quarterly specials this quarter is pre-1959. So all these cards are pre-1959. Starting really old here. This is a T206 card. Sweet Caporal Cigarettes card. I forget this gentleman's name. Doherty. Arm in Air variation. Just wanted to slab this. I haven't slabbed a T206 card, so interested to see how that does. Here's a kind of a interesting one. 1949 Bowman, Ralph Kiner. I believe this is his second year. This cut is odd. It appears to be miscut at the factory. I've asked PSA to slab it. That's not even the most unusual thing about this card. If you look on the back, it has an overprint error. You will see that Sid Gordon's information has been printed over Ralph Kiner's, or vice versa. But certainly an error card. Really interested to see what PSA thinks about it. I wouldn't be surprised if it just came back authentic, or perhaps authentic art altered. If this edge isn't factory, we'll see. I told them that I'd like it slabbed essentially no matter what. So we'll see what happens. Kind of a cool card there. Here's a nicer 1953 Bowman, not a big name. Sandalio Consuegra. I'm mostly slamming it because I like how these 53 Bowman look. Quarterly special, so it's only going to cost me $8, but I don't have any of these slabbed. At least I don't think I do. So maybe a PSA 5 on this. We'll see. Bob Serve, 53 Tops. Nice card. 53 Tops is condition sensitive. This is a pretty nice card. Hopefully looking for like a 5 or yeah, probably a 4 or a 5 on this. Hank Sauer. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. This border is really small on this edge, so it's going to probably get the OC qualifier. Still a pretty nice card. Solly Hemus, another 53 Tops. This one centered really nicely, I believe. Looking for like a 5 or a 6. Clarence Pod Bielen. Mostly submitting this one because it's really nice. Not a big name. Just think it's a nice card. Worth the $8 to slab it. 54 Bowman, Bobby Shantz. Not a well, it's not just a common. You'd probably call him a semi-star. Nicer card. Here's a Bob Friend. Definitely has some centering issues top to bottom. So, but I really like the color on this card. It's pretty nice. We'll see what PSA thinks. Probably going to get like a 5 or 6 OC. Hoyt Wilhelm, 54 Bowman. It's not the best centering on these 54 Bowmans. Joe Adcock. Centering's a little better on this one. 54 Bowman. Nice card. Does have like a print dot in the back here. I think it's a print dot at least. Andy Pafko. Too bad this isn't a 52 Tops. Again, another 54 Bowman here. Better centering on this card. Johnny Podres. I think this is his second year card. 55 Tops. Centering's off top to bottom, but white back variation. Maybe not a variation. It's just white back. Nicer card. Luis Aparicio. I think I might have shown this in a previous mailbag. I'm going to submit it to PSA. Only thing that's rough on this card is the centering up here in this corner. This is his rookie. This is a 56 Tops. Gray back. Pretty nice card. Hopefully I could get a straight grade. Here's another 56 Tops. Ed Matthews. This one's centered nicely. It does have a crease. So probably going to come back like a PSA 3. but nice centered Hall of Famer. Robin Roberts, another Hall of Famer, centered nicely. It does have a crease as well, but again, a nice Hall of Famer card here. Great color, great eye appeal. Hoping for like a 4 or 5. No, probably more like a 3 or 4. 56, Ernie Banks, Mr. Cubs, Mr. Cub. I think it's Mr. Cub. Ernie Banks, nice, decently centered. This card also has a crease or wrinkle, whatever you want to call it. So looking for like a PSA 3 on that. I have 2 of these. 1957 tops. Campy, Roy Campanella. They're both semi-decent. Probably looking at getting like a 4 or 5 on each. One is slightly nicer than the other. 58 tops, Al Kaline, white name variation. It does have a bit of a print defect, but I'm going to take a straight grade on it, so it's probably going to come back like a 3 or 4. Mini Minoso, hopefully he makes it into the Hall of Fame. Now this is 58 tops. He was one of the more iconic players. I think he was the first Puerto Rican or Cuban. No, yeah, he's from Cuba. Interesting read up on him. Yeah, hopefully he makes it into the Hall of Fame. I'll make that submission a little more worthwhile. 2 of these Rival Fence Busters cards. I like these old Topps multiplayer cards. Sending both of these in, they're not too terrific as far as condition goes. Probably both going to get like a 3 or 4. We'll print out here. Braves Fence Busters. Kind of a cool card. Del Crandall, Ed Matthews, Hank Aaron, and Joe Adcock. And just a cool picture. Braves Fence Busters. I've submitted one of these before. Stan Musial. 58 tops. His All-Star card. Pretty nice. Another All-Star card from 58 tops. Ernie Banks. Decent card. Probably like a 4. Here's a nicer card from this submission. Bill Mazeroski, 59 tops. I think it's got a chance of like a 7 or maybe even an 8. Really nicely centered. Really sharp. Really clean card. 7 or an 8 hopefully. This one was a cheap eBay pickup. 59 Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank. Pretty nicely centered. Corners are a little rough, so probably looking at like a 3 or 4 on this. Sandy Koufax, last card in this submission. 59 tops. You know, this has a pretty bad wax stain on the back, but still want to slab it. It's worth the $8 in my opinion. It does kind of have like a print defect on the back, on the front here, where the red ink has ran vertically. So it kind of makes it look like the letters are on fire. So kind of like an on fire print defect here. Still, I think it's a nice card, pretty solid eye appeal. Submitting it. That wraps up the PSA submission for the quarterly special. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. John Rossi, Talking Ball Cards, out. Have a good one.